move on to this next one. So we've got Binance, and they're going to be adding support for Bitcoin ordinals later in this month. So that's really quite bullish because obviously Binance is big. At the moment, they're the world's leading cryptocurrency exchange, and they announced on Monday that they're going to be expanding its NFT marketplace to include Bitcoin ordinals.
Whoa.
So that's really quite big news.
Huge news. Wow.
Yeah. And it's currently running 3 blockchains, BNB Chain, Ethereum, and Polygon. If successful, this expansion would make it the first centralized cryptocurrency exchange to provide support for Bitcoin ordinals. As part of the ramp up, they put an open call for quality NFT collections that they can launch on Binance for the Bitcoin launch. So that's interesting. But what we did see over here is Bitcoin developer Luke Dashshare or Dash Jr. I don't know. I'm really butchering his name. He proposes to ban spam ordinals because there's been a whole thing that's happened here. I don't know if you've heard about this, Kate, but there's been a bug that's found in Bitcoin ordinals that basically, simply put, you're able to send a transaction with 0 input and 0 output. So in other words, you could sort of pretend like it was inscribed, but it was never actually written onto a Satoshi, right? But it's still counted as an ordinal.
Yep.
So when the big thing with ordinals that we're seeing is the lower the value, the lower the mintage. So if you get an ordinal that's the first 10,000, those are a lot more valuable than an ordinal that was the 100,000s or the millionth or whatever it may be. So here, that chain of what number of legitimate ordinal is it is all messed up because there's thousands and thousands of ones that were never ever inscribed onto a Satoshi. And so they were assigned a number as if this was Bitcoin ordinal 50,000, but there was actually never a Bitcoin ordinal there. So that's something. I mean, remember, we're dealing with a new technology here. Being able to inscribe an image onto a Satoshi, and you are going to have these sort of things. But typically, they do tend to find solutions to these things. Obviously, for investors that paid a lot of money for low-numbered ordinals, this can be a bit worrying. I personally think that they'll find a solution. They might be able to clear out the ones that aren't that weren't ever minted on a Satoshi, and so the numbers will change. But yeah, it's just something to keep in mind. This has happened, and it's a glitch, but I do think it's one that they'll overcome.
That would be so fucked if you spent all that money and you didn't even get a real ordinal and you just didn't know. Oh my god! But I love this for
it's not really that. It's if you spent that money and was sent the Satoshi, it typically was one that had a ordinal on it. What they are saying is that when you bought that one, you might have thought that it was the 15,000th Satoshi that was ever made, when it actually ended up being a different number to that, because there's a whole lot of other ones that were put in that weren't actually inscribed but were counted towards the numbers, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense. Also, just want to say what's up to Clemente. I see him in the spaces over here from the Nifty Portal. Shout out Clemente. Shout out Nifty Portal. Love the guys over there. Got to meet him at NFT.
Clemente, I'm a huge fan, my man. A big fan. I love what you're doing at the Nifty. I love the guys at the Nifty. I love listening to you guys every day. I'm a YouTube guy, so I watch you guys on YouTube. So big welcome. Thank you for joining our spaces. Kate should, if he's done his job properly, have the YouTube link there. So Clemente, I'd love for you to join the YouTube just so you can see my face, because I feel like I know you, man. So big welcome, and feel free to request to speak if you want to add anything to it. But so Kate, I don't know, that's the Bitcoin ordinal story, my man. We'll see what happens with it, but we just see they temporarily paused ordinals, and there's a whole lot of stuff going on. They've also been getting a whole lot of FUD lately on the ordinal side. Because it's just causing a lot of congestion on the network and gas fees. But again, I think this is all par for the course when it comes to something that's brand new,
I agree. I like the idea of Bitcoin ordinals. I don't know. Like, I think it's kind of cool. Like Bitcoin does kind of I didn't really believe this until I heard someone say it, but like, I never cared about Bitcoin until someone like brought it to my attention that like Bitcoin's kind of cool. And then like people were talking about the fact that like there are people who like only trade Bitcoin specifically. And then
it was me who had this conversation with you.
Bro. I started looking at Bitcoin. I was like, damn, bro, Bitcoin does look kind of sexy. Like the logo is kind of cool. And I was like, shit, I kind of see what people are talking about. But that's very interesting with the Bitcoin Ordinals story. Also, I was going to say just super quick. I found the photo of